So let's
Sure.
start with our youngest, what we can do with our youngest learners. And I would say we could start with preschoolers on this. So one of the things we want kids to eventually get away from is having to count uh, to figure out what the quantity is. So we want kids to recognize this instantly as a 4 because of the arrangement of those spades on that playing card. And so um, one of the things we can do to help them learn to subitize, which again is just the fancy word for being able to see that quantity and know what it is without counting, is we can just hold that card up for a couple of seconds and then hide it and have kids tell us what they think they saw. And if they need to look at it again, we can flash it for them again so that they can start to, in just a couple of seconds, recognize the quantity on that card. So that's one thing that parents or teachers of very young children could do with the deck. Again, you would want to stay with those cards that are most recognized by young children. So the dice would be a good one, the cards would be a good one, tens frames would be a good one, those kinds of cards that they might have been exposed to. And if they haven't been, you might leave it up for just a little bit longer, but the object is to get away from counting. So you can't leave it up so long that they can finger count it in the air, because that's not helping us get to subitization. So the other thing you can do is you can pick 2 different representations of that quantity and, play like the good old memory game or the concentration game that we used to play. And you can start with little kids with those cards face up so that they are just taking turns matching 2 cards that have the same quantity. Later on, to work on working memory, you can turn them face down. And again, I'd start with just 2 representations at first, and then later on move to more if you wanted to for a memory game. So that's the way we can start with our youngest kiddos, learning those different representations. Again, with my youngest, I'm not going to start with that word form because if they can't read, we're defeating the purpose. I would wait until I have kids that can start to recognize the word form of 4, but I wanted to show one with that form. Then we can play the good old game of Go Fish. So in this deck, again, you're not going to play with all the representations. You're going to pull out 4 representations if you have 4 players or fewer, but you always have to have 4 representations. If you have a lot more kids playing the game, you could build up 8 representations, but a book, or that's what they call it in Go Fish, is making a book, is only going to be 4 cards with the same quantity. So this would be a book if a player could collect 4s. Okay.
So when I'm playing this game with my kids, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to pull out 4 4s, 4 5, 4 7s, 4 8s, whatever, however many I need to be able to play.
Right. And so I would take a single representation and then find another one that I think my kids could recognize and do, find 4 of those that I think my kids can recognize. And then we're going to play Go Fish by the Go Fish rules. Okay. Dealing out
Awesome.
however many cards it says on the direction sheet.